Brandon, did you get a chance to talk to Cole Sulser since yesterday's game and maybe go over plans for him moving forward?
Yeah, we talked to him this morning. Sulser's just disappointed in the command. He's always been known as a command guy. Hasn't had a ton of major league experience, but really low walk totals in the minor leagues. And that's what he's disappointed about the most was the leadoff walk yesterday. The walk to Shaw after getting him 0-2, not being able to put him away there. He had a chance, 2 strike counts with a couple times there in that inning to get out of it and to end the game for us. And it just didn't happen. But, like I said before, this is a guy that hasn't had a lot of major league experience like the majority of guys in our bullpen. Somebody that got a lot of big outs for us early in the year, and just a little bit of a rut right now. And even the other night for me, he got 5 quick outs and just makes a bad pitch. We're 1 out away from winning that game, or 1 strike away from winning a game yesterday a couple times. So I've been putting him in tough situations, and we did talk today about maybe just giving him a couple breather outings where a little bit lower intensity, try to get his confidence back. Still believe in the stuff. I still believe in the maturity and the makeup of the guy, and the guy that's been able to get left-handers out. And I think it's good to just get him a little bit of a reset.
Dan Connolly?
Kind of following up with that, Brandon, and also expanding a little bit. Who do you then envision in those 8th, 9th inning type jams at this point? And you mentioned yesterday that some guys weren't available. Obviously, it seemed like a situation where Castro would at least been warming at that point. What is his availability today, and what was the situation there yesterday?
Well, Castro actually just hasn't been feeling well. That's why he hasn't pitched in a few days. So he's been he's had some sinus stuff and hasn't been able to go the last few games. So yesterday, no Michael, obviously, no Miggy, Army's on the IL. So we just didn't have some right-handed options that we normally would have. Didn't want to have Harvey pitch longer than he did, coming in his first outing back after being out. Our options were limited yesterday. I'm just going to mix and match. I mean, none of these guys have prolonged closing career numbers. So I think that we're going to do the best we can. Our guys have pitched well out of the pen. It'd be a lot, to be honest. I mean, it'd be nice to score some runs to not have a 1-run or tie game, almost on a nightly basis. You look at this road trip, we lost the first game in Tampa 4-2, but made a couple mistakes defensively, pitched well, just didn't score enough runs. Then we had a tie game in the 8th inning. Michael gives up a homer. We lose that game 4-3. We're right into that. And then the night here where we're 1 out away from winning the game, that doesn't happen. The second game here was wasn't good. But then yesterday we're 1 strike away. So we had 4 out of these 5 games on this road trip where we're right there. Ball bounces our way a little bit. We're talking we're having a different conversation, but it just hasn't happened.
Next up is Rich Dubroff. Rich, go ahead.
Brandon, on the Sulser subject, was he helped initially by the novelty factor, by the guys haven't seen him, that there hadn't been a huge history, and is that coming back to kind of haunt him now?
I don't think so. Just talking to him today, he's just really disappointed in his he thinks he's just trying too hard, and he's always been a command guy throughout his minor league career. And that's what I liked about him initially was, we didn't have a closer, so to speak, coming into the season. So somebody that's going to be able to throw strikes, be able to get right and left-handers out, just because you're going to, a right-hander that's one-sided, they're going to stack lefties in the 9th inning, vice versa. And Souls had the reverse split with the slider to be able to get guys to get right-handers out also in the elevated fastball. And he did that a lot early in the year. Did a really nice job. He's disappointed in the command. Like yesterday for me, uncharacteristic, walks panic to lead off the inning. He's got Shaw 0-2, and he just said he would try to make 4 perfect pitches instead of doing what he did to get to the 2-strike count. And I think that's a good, it's a learning experience from him. Like I said, very, very little major league time, putting them in a really tough situation. We have no veterans in our bullpen. So, I think that we're taking our lumps a little bit, but hopefully gaining some experience, all these guys.
Steve Molesky.
Hey, Brandon, we talked a lot since last year about the resilience of the team, bouncing back, always having energy amid losses or some tough nights. Is this the biggest challenge for that, this recent stretch since you've been here?
We lost so many games like this last year. So, I really liked how, and I still do, I like how the improvement we've made in our bullpen and the way guys are throwing. I think every single guy that was here last year has improved going this year, from Armstrong to Tanner. Miguel Castro is better for me this year. Gibbons was better for me than last year. All these guys had improved, and I think that really, really helped. It made us competitive. We play competitive baseball games. We rarely get blown out. We're rarely blowing anybody out, because that's for me where we need to take the next step, honestly, is offensively be able to attack on runs, not make mistakes, not do things that hurt us, and able to extend leads, especially in the middle part of the game, to make it easier on them. We make it so hard on our bullpen guys because we're playing such tight games, it seems like night after night. And you're not going to be perfect when you play like that. You got to be able to win 7-2 once in a while. And we just haven't been able to do that just because we haven't scored any the runs. Not just because we're not swinging the bat as well as we did earlier in the year, but also because we're making so many mistakes that if we don't make those mistakes, we're in better position to score more runs, and so we have to do a better job offensively to take some pressure off our pitchers.
Joe Trezza.
Brandon, will Keegan be on a pitch count today, and how much can you reasonably expect from him this afternoon?
Yeah, he'll be on a pitch count. He'll be on a pitch count the rest of the year. But I think that he has built up, so I'm going to kind of see how he's feeling. Like, kind of with Georgie Lopez yesterday too, is have a number in mind, but understand that he hasn't been gone out 5 times out there like he had earlier in the year. It's been a while, and you kind of saw it 5th inning, tired a little bit, it looked like, even though his pitch count was down. So I'm just going to play it by ear and see how Keegan feels middle part of the game.
Brett Hollander.
Yeah, Brandon, just to follow up on Keegan, what will it look like if he's right in getting outs, and based on what you have seen from him pitching out of the bullpen and going back to spring training?
It's about strikes for Keegan. He's got really good stuff. He's got weapons to both sides, and it's about being able to work ahead in the count. When I've seen Keegan it's because he's pounding the strike zone. This is a very, very young, aggressive, dangerous team. And that's a talented. This is a talented team. Not only are they very, very talented offensively, but we're running into Chase Anderson today, Rourke the other day, Rio before that, where they're veterans in their rotation, and then they have really good arms in their bullpen with veteran pieces in the back end also. So really well put together team at this point. Keegan's got to be able to work ahead of these hitters, or they're just going to be able to sit on stuff if he's working behind in the count. So that's what Georgie did a really nice job of, especially those first 4 innings yesterday. We got a ton of early outs. We didn't help him out defensively either. And that's been a bugaboo of ours lately also. And we got to be able to catch the ball behind him.
Follow-up question from Dan Connolly.
Yeah,
Dan,
Brandon,
go
the
ahead.
trade deadline is right in the middle of your game. A lot of these guys are younger guys who haven't been through all of this kind of stuff. Because of the odd circumstance, the timing and such, do you have to say anything to them? Do you kind of just ignore it and, you'll contact them if you need to? How are you planning on working that with, the 6th inning or whatever it may be?
Well, I'm going in like nothing's going to happen, and then if something happens, I'll be notified during the game. It's happened to I was the bench coach before when we traded 2 guys in the middle of the game at the trade deadline. That was back in 2014. Bonifacio and James Russell to the Braves. But yeah, I think that's always unusual. You just never know what's going to happen. I'm going to play it like nothing's going to happen until I get a phone call.